What's going on, YouTube? I know y'all see the cut. Feel me? Got it yesterday. I don't know if y'all saw it in the video. It was a little dark. But yeah, we chopped the fro. But yeah. So today I want to talk about generational trauma and how to defeat it. So growing up in the Hispanic household, our parents did put their hands on us a lot. And it was really the norm. I was born in 2002. This was like the back end of when you could hit your children. So unfortunately, I got hit. I got beat. It was always to discipline me, but there was definitely some situations I feel like I shouldn't got hit. Like sometimes when my siblings they would do something and I get hit for it because I was somewhat involved, and I never really liked that. But I grew up as one of those people saying, "Oh, I turned out all right, so I'm gonna hit my children." I don't even have kids yet, and I was saying this. I was saying, "Oh, if they do wrong, you gotta hit them. You gotta discipline them." I thought that was how you raise children, but no, that was an effect of generational trauma. That's how I was raised, so that's how I think I should raise my children, but it's not. And the person that really showed this to me was my girl. She was not hit growing up. She was never hit, she was never abused. She was raised in a different type of disciplines. Like her father would take things away from her or he'd talk to her. That is a completely foreign concept to me. My parents did not do that. Well, they'd hit me first and then talk to me. And when it wasn't really talking, it was yelling. And I'm not gonna discredit my parents. They did a pretty good job raising me. I turned out I'm not in jail. Let's just put it in that way. I'm not in jail. I'm not in a gang. So that's all thanks to God. They were good parents, but they also grew up in a generation where hitting your kids was normal. If you didn't hit your kids, you were weird. And they believe that's how you should raise your children. Both of my parents are not from the mainland of US. My father's from Puerto Rico, my mother's from Ecuador. Over there, at least in Ecuador, when she was growing up, even the teachers could hit the children. Like when you went to school, teachers could hit children. And that was normal. It was so normal. Like teachers could hit children. That's not normal in the US. You hear that? They're going to jail. Even back then. Well, I don't know. I think you could have actually in some states. But at least nowadays, no. That would never fly. I think that's still a thing over in Ecuador. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but yeah. And in Puerto Rico, I don't know if teachers can hit children. Probably though. I wouldn't be surprised if they could. Yeah, my parents come from an older generation, so that's what they were raised with, and that's how they raised me. And I'm not gonna say they were wrong for hitting me sometimes because I definitely deserved it. Kane. Hey, I'm trying to make a video. You want to bark? I definitely deserved it at times, but not to that extent. Like there was definitely a lot of situations that I did get hit for that I feel like if they just talked to me and told me, "Hey, that's not right," I would have been all right. Like I remember one time I was talking to my mom and I said some things about my older brother, and then she started smacking me up, and then she started yelling at me, and yeah, I mean I was saying some, yeah, I was saying something crazy, but I mean, but that's what I grew up with. I grew up with their generational trauma. They each passed it on to me tenfold from what they experienced. Well, let me not say that because I don't know what they experienced for real. But they did pass it down to me. And growing up, I thought that's how you're supposed to raise your kids. Hit your kids, hit your kids, hit your kids whenever they do something bad. But that's not how it is. Now, I'm not going to sit here and act like my situation is really extreme. I know there's people that grow up that are abused because their parents come home drunk and their parents are miserable people. And to those people, I apologize. I'm sorry that you had to grow up with that. And it's wrong. But that doesn't mean you have to raise your kids that way. You can break this curse that has been put upon your family. This generational trauma does not define you. And the first step to breaking that is therapy. Therapy is very crucial. The number one thing my therapist told me when I did have one was whenever you start to feel these emotions, talk to yourself and identify what the issue is. And once you do that, you start to feel a lot better. Like, let's say you start to get angry at somebody. Instead of crashing out, instead of cursing, instead of assaulting them, take a moment and be like, okay, why is this person making me so angry? What is the insecurity that they're touching that is making me feel this way? And go on from there. We have to stop allowing ourselves to fall into this trap. Hold on 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, it was a little hot, so I had to strip. But you have to identify the insecurity that's affecting you. Like me, I would get angry. And whenever I get angry, it's really bad because it's hard to get me to that point. I get irritated easily. I do. I get annoyed. But anger is never really something I dealt with. And it's crazy because my family deals with a lot of anger issues. Like some of my siblings, my older brother, my mother. Well, she's better now, but she used to. My father had a little bit of anger issues, but me, I never really dealt with anger issues. But when I do get angry, it's really bad. So it's really more of a the way I deal with not getting angry is I don't look at it as this person is trying to disrespect me. Because sometimes people's intentions aren't that way. And if I feel like your intentions are that way, I would never let you get me to that point because that's what you want. You want me to crash out. You want me to get mad. I'm not going to let you get me there. And if that's what somebody's doing to you, you should never let them get you to that point. So, how does this tie into generational trauma, you ask? When it comes to your kids, they're going to make a lot of mistakes. The reason we got hit as kids is because we made mistakes that any child would make. And instead of our parents talking to us, they hit us. You see, a lot of people nowadays think, oh, if you didn't get hit growing up, you're going to be a spoiled child. But that's not the case because my girl didn't get hit growing up and she's not spoiled. She's not a spoiled brat. She's actually pretty humble. There's other aspects that come with it. Like, you might not hit your kids, but you still have to discipline them in some way. You have to substitute that for something. Maybe push us, maybe taking their stuff away, maybe grounding them for a month or two. I feel like that's worse than getting hit. Because after that, they're fine. You know what I mean? These are the things that you have to do. You cannot put your hand on a child because they make mistakes. Mistakes will be made. They're babies. And this is what I learned with my dog. And I had to learn that my dog is going to make mistakes. He's just a puppy. And he doesn't know any better. So instead of hitting him, I will admit I yell at him because he does piss me off. And y'all see it. I yell at him from here and there. But hitting him isn't going to do anything. It's only going to make him afraid of me. But I have to train him and show him what's right and wrong. And I got to watch him too, because even then he don't care. He don't care. But it's the same with kids. Kids will probably care a little more than a dog. But you can't hit your child after their first time doing something, making a mistake. Like, let's say your child breaks something. You have to make it clear to them that's wrong. You can't do that, instead of hitting them. And that leads into my second point. The second thing that you have to learn. Sorry, my alarm went off. But the second thing you have to learn to break this generational trauma is patience. Patience is extremely essential. Like I used in my last analogy. Your child breaks something. You have to be patient. You have to be like, okay, that's wrong. Don't do it again. They do it again. You're gonna have to be a little. Gonna have to really discipline them this time. But that doesn't mean hitting them. Make them do 10 push-ups. Make them go for a run. I promise you, they won't do it again because they don't. They don't want to do that. Make them do things that they don't want to do. Make them uncomfortable, healthily uncomfortable, if you know what I mean. And then take their stuff away, ground them, so they learn. Because you told them once, now they did it again. Okay, now you're gonna get grounded. They do it a third time. Now they're just blatantly disrespecting you. At that point, you're just gonna have to discipline them even harder. But that doesn't mean hit your kids. That's how we break the generational trauma. But you gotta be patient with your children. They're gonna make mistakes. You just have to teach them right from wrong. Every mistake that they make is a learning moment. And that's how you have to look at it. Not a moment that you have to be like, okay, now you gotta get beat up. Now I have to beat you because you want to do wrong. No. It's like when you work a job. If you make a mistake at your job, they're not gonna fire you off the first mistake. They're gonna be like, hey, this was wrong. You gotta fix this. At least a decent job. Some jobs will do that. But you know what? Those are the jobs that are not good. Those employers also have some generational trauma that they have to address. So let's break this generational trauma, and I'll leave you with one last thing. Think about the way you felt when you went through it, and ask yourself, would I want to put my kids through this? And I promise you, you're gonna change your whole perspective on it. You're gonna change your whole perspective. Because if you truly love your children, you would never want them to go through the same thing you went through. If you truly love your children, you're gonna treat them with love, respect, and kindness. You are a parent. You are raising a child. You don't need to put your hands on a child to raise them the right way. So let's break this generational trauma, and let's be a better person tomorrow. This has been your boy King Art. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Share this with others that you know need to hear this. Leave a comment down below saying I'm breaking my trauma. And subscribe to join the journey. We on the road to 100 subs. Let me catch ya. Stay blessed.